Hey guys, Greg here, Bone Tactical. We've got a big unboxing today, and this is just cool stuff. This is luxury items, tactical. If you've got a little extra spending money, this is probably gonna be your video that you wanna check out. Definitely stay tuned on the channel for all kinds of unboxing and different gear reviews, all right? So what I do personally is I differentiate between gear reviews and unboxing. So this will be an unboxing and an initial impression. What I then do is test the gear, I put it to use, I use my expertise in gear utilization and just knowledge that I've developed over the years and how stuff works, being a gear designer and producer, and then just being a hard user. Everything I use hard, I'm hard on stuff. And I'm dead honest. So if you guys see something here on the channel and you like it, definitely stay tuned to see how it performs under the harshest of conditions in extreme testing, real deal, lifestyle use. Find out about the practical applications and everything. But in this particular video, I'm gonna tell you which thing might be good, might not be good. We're gonna share you guys some information of how you can save money. This isn't just unboxing and initial impression. So these videos, you get all kinds of pro tips and really just useful information. In this particular video, I'll let you know some cool stuff that if you have a couple extra bucks and you want to spend that money, then definitely get on moving. So let's start with something that I've already been testing. So this is a replenishment, and these are really, really nice. When it comes to shirts, this shirt that I'm wearing right now is a Bone Tactical shirt, and as of right now, I've got a bunch of them. I got several hundred of them, but I don't want to sell them yet. I really like it. I just think it's too cool, and I'm not 100% sure that I want to sell them yet. So they're not up on the site yet at the time of the filming of this video. I really got to think about it. Sometimes I just make cool stuff and just like making cool stuff and don't want to sell it. I'll probably get over it and get them up on the site soon. But what you can buy right now is these, and these are like more geared towards active wear. So this is called mobile cooling technology by Field Shear. If you're in a cold weather environment, they definitely have also heating clothing, so clothes that'll warm you up, all right? So this particular shirt, I really like that it's got like a mesh on the back, okay? And then on the front, it's a more traditional like polyester. It's all synthetic materials, moisture wicking, UF protection from the sun. And the thing about this is great. This material that's on the back is great, and it's probably one of the best cooling materials you can get. They're so smart to have put it on the back, because the problem with this material is if you're working on something, or if you brush up against something that's sharp or pointy, it automatically creates a run and pretty much ruins the shirt. It gets these long runs in it. That doesn't happen nearly as much when it's on the back. I love these shirts. I've been using these shirts for years now and can't talk enough about them. If you got money to spend on performance t-shirts, if you want a performance t-shirt, Field Shear is the way to go, okay? I'll link all this stuff in the description below. So they also sent me something really cool that I'm really excited about that I have not tested from the same company, okay? So let's show this real quick, and I just think this is cool. This is a Acura, basically Formula One polo shirt. So this is the actual, real deal cool polo shirt. It's got the mobile cooling technology built in. It doesn't have the difference on the back and the front. It's just its own solid mobile cooling material. And I'm just excited about this. I like cool shirts. I think this is cool. I don't like looking just the same as everybody else. And so I think I'm excited to have this different polo shirt. And I love tools and equipment and Formula One racing, just the sport of racing and building vehicles and cars and motors and engineering. I love stuff like that. So I just think that's a really cool shirt. Moving right along, they do make other, if you guys are more, if you guys like to be a little bit more low-key, under the radar, if you don't like to have such wow clothing, they do make a regular looking polo shirt. So this is just a really nice heavy duty material. The zipper's interesting, right? The zipper collar, different, but I can already tell you that this is heavy duty material. It's well made, well stitched, coming from a guy who has his own clothing line. So if you like polo shirts or t-shirts for performance, check out Field Shear, guys, okay? So we're just gonna keep burning right along. We got so much stuff to go through today. This is Matador, okay? So another big deal. EDC, guys. Big, you guys know I'm an EDC nut, okay? So this is Matador, and they make organizational stuff that I'm really excited about, because you can have your EDC backpack. I love the Gray Man Operations pack. I've got all my gear, but organization is everything. I'm all about efficiency, guys. All about efficiency. So Matador just makes some really cool EDC and travel gear. EDC, right? Everyday carry, stuff that you use every day. This particular one is an ultralight travel towel. Look at this. This thing is tiny. It fits in my hand, and it's a towel. I am so stoked about being able to have a towel that packs down this small in my bag. So that's a game changer for being able to carry what I can carry when I'm at my absolute minimum and trying to run and gun, like we say, but have just my backpack. And if I can now have a towel in this size, game changer for me. I have not experienced Matador yet, but I've seen their pictures of their stuff, read some reviews. All this stuff looks really high quality, guys. I'm already stoked. This was one of the companies that some of these guys send me stuff, right? But not just that I'm like, okay, I'll accept it. But this is one of the companies that I was actually stoked about working with them. I was like, hey, wow, I'm so excited to work with you. Can you send me this, and this off your website? I like so much of your stuff. And so these are like little, they remind me of a dive bag, right? They're little mesh pouches, heavy duty. They got nice zippers on there, very heavy duty. I don't think it's YKK. It's got its own branded, but it looks like a YKK zipper. I know my zippers, guys. I actually make the Traveler's Money belt that's got super crazy high quality YKK zippers on there. These zippers look really good. I'm just telling you, this stuff looks legit. These Matador pouches. So this is what I was talking about with when it comes to organizational, and it's so important to be able to be organized in your EDC. Your EDC really, it's a lot less important just having an EDC if you really can't get to it, or if you end up leaving it somewhere, or you don't have good access. So these little pouches, 3 different sizes here. This is the mesh organizer bag set. I really like that they're mesh, because the fact that they're mesh means that they're either not going to hold water. If I need waterproof, then I use a waterproof bag. But if I don't need waterproof, I just think this is cool. They're lightweight. The mesh is strong. The zippers are good. They've got a little dangle on there. I actually, a lot of times, get a little keychain thing off Amazon that has it's like a sticker thing that you can write like a name tag almost. And so I like to actually tag a lot of my bags that I carry, so with what's inside of them, so everybody knows, like if we're on a team or something doing either, mission specific, if you will, or even just going and doing filming for YouTube, so I can tell one of my workers, hey, go get this bag, go get this out of this bag, it's marked, the bag is marked like this. If the bags are different sizes, it's not as important. That's cool, because that's 3 different size bags. You can get different sizes, different colors, and then you can organize it that way. That, it's good also if you're going to be working with other people to be able to organize it in various different ways. So before, you guys have probably seen in earlier videos, I was using a lot of the Magpul pouches, but they've all since just completely fell apart and ruined on me. I'll probably show that in a future video, because I've had to sew them back together and all kinds of stuff. I'm hoping that I don't have to do this with these Matador bags. This is the Gear Cube set, which is really cool. So these are like expandable bags. I've used Gear Cubes for a long time, but I've had a problem with my Gear Cubes falling apart too. I just get the cheap ones off Amazon, and I've got several Gear Cubes that are coming unstitched. You can just tell by looking at these Matador bags that they're just a higher level of quality. So I'm going to have to now just get these into testing and show you guys in future videos. These are going to go right into my EDC. I'm going to take these, into the house and start organizing stuff inside of these bags, swapping out. You might not see the old Magpul bags in a future video, because if I have enough of these, then the Magpul bags are just going to pretty much eventually get thrown away, because they're literally all put back together and patched and everything. So let's go to the next level with Matador, guys. Super excited about that. Now look at these flat packs. Look how cool these are. I'm impressed, guys. I'm impressed with this stuff. Look at this. This is a dry bag. Look how small this is. You guys know me. I'm not easily impressed. It's not often that I'm touting I'm starting this video, you know, showing a lot of really cool stuff, and so I'm sure there'll be other cool stuff in the video, but you guys that know me know that it's not often that I'm impressed with gear, and so there's probably going to be some video in this gear, some gear in this video that I'm not impressed with, so definitely stay tuned because it might be something you're looking at purchasing. I've got flashlights, wallets, all kinds of gun and firearm accessories, crazy high brand level flashlights, and just all kinds of you know, different, like I got American made stuff and office parts and supplies and cool guy stuff. I got all kinds of stuff, so stay tuned. But guys, this is a 2-liter dry bag, and look how this thing breaks down. Look at this, is crazy, guys. This is so cool. So so over there, you guys already saw I have the mesh bags, right? So I have those little mesh bags. Let's say that I'm going into an environment where I'm going off on the boat and I don't want my stuff to get wet. Now, all I have to do here is throw my stuff into the dry bag, and if the dry bag packs down this small, that's crazy. I can just have this dry bag on me and then put stuff in there as needed. This is so cool, man. So cool. It doesn't look super crazy durable, but it looks perfect for that. Having a little dry bag for when you know you're gonna go out on the boat, you put this inside of another bag because it's very thin and light. And so everything in the world is a balance between strength and lightweight, high speed and high strength. So if it's high speed, a lot of times it's easier to break. You gotta be more careful with it, or it's light, or it's a race car and you have race car problems. If it's heavy duty, then it probably doesn't go fast. So this might not be the most durable dry bag in the world, but you just have to know how to use the gear. This is perfect for what I want it for and for what I need it for. You got to make sure it's just like the Ghost knife. The Ghost knife is light. It's impervious to the elements. I could stick this thing in the sheath here and 20 years come get this out of the sheath and use it. I could have it on my boat in salt water and it'll be good to go. But if I use it as a screwdriver or a pry bar, it's going to break. So it's all about use case scenario, guys. What are you using this stuff for? I think there's one more flat pack here from Matador. All the links will be in the description below. Definitely check out this Matador stuff. Just really neat stuff. Really, you guys are seeing an impressed bone, which is not incredibly common. This is another dry bag. This is the flat pack dry through technology, which is interesting. We're gonna have to check that out. I love how it says designed in Colorado, made in China. They're open about the stuff being made in China. Most people aren't. If you guys don't know, nothing good is really made in America anymore. And I hate to say that. There's a couple things still good that are made in America by some like small batch makers, but there's not any more American factories that are making good stuff. Like not even like, I mean, you look at the cars made in America, if there are any left, they're, you know, Ford, for example, they got famous on being able to make a car quickly and affordably for the average person. That's how they changed the game, but they didn't ever try to make anything really that was quality necessarily. I know it's going to piss a lot of people off, but that's not the model. And so the American model has gone overseas for everything, and you know, it's interesting. It's almost, you know, impossible to completely produce something. Even I'm a knife maker, and a lot of guys say that's American-made steel. Well, all these powder steels, which the business that made the most popular powder steels, they went out of business, and they were actually getting their materials to make the steel from other countries anyways, and they're calling it American made. But neither here nor there. The ship has sailed with those guys. They're out of business. Let's keep moving right along. This is Kemimoto, and it is some light sticks. Okay, light sticks, whip lights for vehicles. Okay, vehicle whip lights. I've got these. If you haven't seen them, I've got them on my truck already. I've installed some. The other ones I installed, they broke right away. They light up like in little sections on their own. They won't turn on and off, which they still work, but they drain the battery. Luckily, I have a dual battery system, but I will say that just be careful. Not necessarily the Kemimoto brand. We're going to test these out. But I think it was aux lighting. We'll have to check out the former videos and then the car build videos. I will say just be careful whenever you're putting any kind of aftermarket accessories on a vehicle, you probably want a dual battery system with a battery switch between them that's wired to the ignition. So when your car ignition is on, the both batteries run together, but when your switch is off, you have all your stuff wired to your auxiliary battery, and the batteries are separated, a battery isolator switch, so that your battery doesn't drain when your car's off. So you can have your radio and your lights and all your extra stuff that you put on your car, wire it to a second battery that does not drain your cranking battery. So your car will still start even if you're listening to the radio too long, or something that you install and ends up draining the battery. Definitely have that 2 battery system with a battery isolator wired to the ignition switch. Super big pro tip there. Moving right along, I know you guys are gonna wanna see this if you guys stay tuned and you're tactical guys. This is a knife. You guys love my knife reviews. You love my knife testing stuff. So this is a tactical knife, and this is a luxury tactical knife. This is not a knife like I would make. I make knives that are hard use. I make knives that are, let's say, the utmost in utilitarian effectiveness. This is a cool guy knife here. So Crate Tactical, you guys might already know the name. They sent me a t-shirt. That's pretty cool. Check out the Crate Tactical t-shirt. Super cool. Love the eagle on there and the anvil. I do think it's a little strange that they have an anvil on there, because there's, you know, me being a knife maker that uses anvils to make my knives, there's literally no way that this knife had anything to do with an anvil in the making process, but it's just marketing, I guess. I don't like marketing when it's not legit, but, you know, it is what it is. So, let's check it out. We have a OTF knife, and I looked on their website, and this was the coolest one I could find. So this does look really cool, you OTF guys. It's got something similar to like the new Ultim that's out, which is like a clearish, translucent plastic. And then fairly sharp D2 steel OTF knife. Kind of a cool style, okay? It's really similar to Microtech, which is like kind of the popular go-to. I will say it's got a glass breaker on the back. It does have it's aluminum, so it might have a steel ball bearing in there or different material. It's good that it's not aluminum glass breaker, because aluminum's not the best material for glass breakers. Definitely, I will mention that OTF knives, not something that I would want to rely on for self-defense or like anything where I absolutely had to depend on my knife to bet my life on or anything like that. So it does say in here, not your grandpa's knife. That's kind of interesting. It's a, you know, cool marketing. This is the QC 233, the Barracuda OTF, $142.99 MSRP. So, you know, pretty cool, pretty interesting. Definitely worth checking out. It comes with your letter and everything. Got the t-shirt from them. So, you know, thanks at Crate Tactical. I will say, just looking at that, I can tell that it's going to be similar to a Microtech. I did see some small fit and finish issues just looking at it real quick, where you could definitely tell the difference right away. Even if it said Microtech on it, I would have been able to tell that it was a little bit lower quality. Microtech generally does a pretty good job with their build qualities and stuff, especially at the higher level knives. Also, they do have a lot of problems, you know, with design. You got to keep them super clean. Manufacturing, though, overall at Microtech, they do a good job. I think their strongest points, other than marketing, is probably manufacture. They do a good job with manufacturing. They could, you know, obviously use a lot of help in the design department. There's so much potential in the OTF market for actually more effective blades, but they're basically a cool factor thing. So you'll see a lot of cool factor stuff in this video, but let's keep moving right along. I am actually just basically fitting into the cool factor theme this whole video. So this is the mech wallet, all right? Very interesting. It looks heavy, but it's not. That's pretty cool. Let's see, it's got, oh, it slides. Wow, that's fancy. Okay, so it's a sliding wallet that holds your cards, and I'm not sure how the cards stay in there. So I will definitely, fit and finish looks pretty good. Looks to be some type of anodized aluminum, and it's got plastic on the inside. So I will have to see why the cards stay in. I guess you have to use the certain amount of cards. So the one thing I don't like about these wallets in comparison to the wallets that I sell is that you just can only hold 6 cards. And it's seems kind of big and bulky. It is kind of cool, but you know, I probably, this wallet can't hold enough cards. I'll do the unboxing. I'm going to end up giving this to one of my, you know, either one of my employees or somebody in one of the outreach programs, probably one of my employees because it's a luxury item. I do a employee of the month giveaway thing, and I'll probably put this. Those guys will love it because I don't think any of them have a wallet. Maybe they don't have a lot of cards or something. You know, definitely don't have more than 6 cards. They probably have a bank card and an ID. So, you know, if something like this, I'm not going to put it into the rotation because it doesn't fit my needs, and I don't really think it's that great, but I will feature this stuff on the video. If you guys have exactly 5 or 6 cards and you really just want something that has like a mechanical click, 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 tactile touch thing to it, then, you know, definitely check that out. All links in the description below. Again, that is the Mech Wallet, M-E-C-H, short for mechanical. URF lamp, we've got some flashlights. I've tested URF lamp before. I haven't had any of their lights go bad. I've worked with them in the past. They seem to always have like a weird little style. This is just like a little short, fat guy. Interesting looking light. I got 2 of these little guys here, and you know, that's cool. It's an interesting flashlight. Not exactly the shape and size of it is not something that I would carry just because it's short and fat, and really it's not big enough for me to be like having it as a searchlight that I'm going to have in my hand all the time, or in a bag, or in a case, or go and grab it. It's small, but it's not a shape that fits the pocket well for an EDC light. So it's kind of one of those in-betweens. Cool factor thing, it is, you know, they're bright and they work. So URF lamp, not sure what the idea behind this design was. I will say, if you guys want some design help, let me know. I can help you design a more effective light. One flashlight company I do work with is Nightcore. This is the NB Plus charging block, okay? Highly recommended, guys. I have other ones of these from them. I have a ton of stuff from them. I've been working more and more and more and more with Nightcore. Do a lot of work with them. You guys are going to be seeing more and more videos from Nightcore here on the channel that I will be doing a lot more of, okay? And I'm going to get this right into the rotation. This is a battery bank, okay, the NB Plus battery bank. I have battery banks that I'm using right now, very similar ones. I have their previous model to this in my EDC bag, and I highly recommend having a battery backup in your EDC bag. This is just a really good idea, and it's a great thing to have. Highly recommended. So you've got the Matador organizational pouches. One of them could have your charging cables and a battery bank, and you'd be smart for having that. It'd be a good idea to have those. Definitely check out Nightcore for your flashlight needs and for your battery backup needs. I can recommend them because I've been using them now for years for their battery backup. This is a solar red dot from AimWin, okay? Gonna have to get this into testing at some point. Looks like it's got a pistol footprint on there, so like for probably like an RMR slide cut or something like that. I mean, it's cool that it's a solar panel on top, you know, that's pretty cool. Solar charging, I haven't seen those in the cheap Chinese ones. Otherwise, yeah, looks pretty standard. Looks cool, and so definitely these Chinese companies seem to work really well, guys, and especially if you have backup sites on there, there's really almost no reason to get an expensive, you know, unless you have the money, there's really almost no reason to get an expensive red dot, because you can always you know, use your backup sites, and I wouldn't really want to rely on one even if it is really expensive. I've got a Trigicon one that I don't even use anymore because I think it's like something broke on the inside of it, and it just always resets itself automatically. It doesn't stay zeroed. So, and the cheap Chinese ones I have are working good. So this is a AimWin, and definitely check it out. PE320 enclosed pistol sight. I do think it's cool that it has a solar panel on there, which means that it's either rechargeable or the sun activates the reticle. We'll look into that. Definitely look into it yourself, and I'll try to get this into some future videos for you guys as well. Odin Wolf. Been working with Odin Wolf for a long time. They're a knife company. I've done tons of hardcore reviews. they have a sharpener on here. Now, I'm going to say that most sharpeners, 90% of sharpeners that are like this are absolute garbage, okay? Because this carbide sharpener and this ceramic sharpener, carbide and ceramic are great, but these are to a set angle. So I'm either going to pass my knife through here and ruin the angle on these two, or it's going to ruin it. There's not a good knife has different grind angles on different parts. The grind angle is, the edge geometry is set up so the grind angle is based off the thickness of the knife and the use case scenario of the knife. So a fixed angle sharpener like this, if the sharpener is a fixed angle, it's just not a good idea, guys. Maybe for gardening equipment or something you don't want a great edge on, or it doesn't really matter. I am able to use this because this part of it right here is a diamond rod, and then there's a ceramic rod here. So what that means is that okay, so there it goes. So what that means is I'm able to now use this rod to sharpen my own angle. A guy commented on one of my videos the other day about a recurve knife. So this is a recurve. It's when the blade has one curve and then a recurve, it curves back another angle. And the guy's like, I can't sharpen that because it's, you know, I don't know why the guy thinks that he can't sharpen that, but with a rod like this, you can sharpen pretty much every single knife if you know what you're doing. When you sharpen a knife, what you have to do is you just maintain the same angle that it has. And you just pass it on there, each side. You just maintain that same angle, and you go from high grit to low grit, and you polish it. The more you polish it, the more the sharper it is, okay? Just make sure that if you're buying a knife, you buy a good knife, and then you maintain the same angle, and you're good to go. So overall, I like this sharpener a lot. It's got a Torx bit set in here, which is cool. A whistle. It says it's okay. It's got a whistle on it, and it's got a diamond, another diamond sharpener. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I could actually just use this only to sharpen all my knives. I have a little pro tip for you guys that don't want to spend money. Is inside of some of the big industrial light bulbs, there's like a little ceramic filament. The light bulbs that you see in warehouses and stuff, the tube lights, fluorescent lights. A lot of fluorescent lights have a ceramic insert in them, a little filament. And I have a bunch of those little ceramic filaments. Break them and take the ceramic out. And all you need is just a good ceramic like that. And if you guys don't have a lot of money, just find some old fluorescent lights that are thrown away or being thrown away. Break them and take that ceramic out, and you've got a knife sharpener that'll maintain any knife. Because a good knife like this EDC Kank right here, it does not need a crazy amount of sharpening because it's my steel that I use, but more than the steel that I use, more importantly, my heat treatment protocols, knowing metallurgy and knowing how to properly heat treat the particular steel that I'm using. I pick the right steel, but it's not all about the steel. It's about heat treating it correctly. And so my knives hold an edge, guys. They hold an edge, and you don't have to do much sharpening. A ceramic rod can maintain one of these for life if you know what you're doing. The pro tip here is never get a fixed angle knife sharpener. Let's see, Hawk Honor, okay, super cool. This is a gun safe, all right? Hawk Honor gun safe, pretty cool. Pistol safe, right? Now, this one you can mount into a vehicle. You could have it like in between your seats if you have enough room. You could mount it just about anywhere, okay? It's got a mounting thing here, and then a quick release, basically. So you put the button in here, doot, doot, doot. It's only got 4 numbers, and it pops out, I believe. And then you can just reach in and grab your gun. So it's like set up for fast action. It actually looks pretty sturdy and strong. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this looks a lot higher quality, guys, than what, you know, cheap safes that I normally see. So I'm really liking this. I think the design is very intelligent. Now let me tell you why you need this. If you guys keep a gun in your house, you need a safe. Why is that? Well, number one is because a lot of accidents happen if you got kids or if you have friends, they come over, grab the gun, you're drinking, your kids shouldn't have a gun. So any of those different scenarios, you don't just want people to be able to have free access to guns in your home. And then another scenario a lot of people don't think about is if your house gets broken into and you have guns around, then you're arming the person that's in your house that might have broke in and not been armed. So you definitely want to have a gun safe. This one looks really cool. You know, if you leave a gun in your truck, you're going to want to look into a gun safe. I installed a gun safe in my Land Cruiser. That's a quick opening fingerprint one, so that's cool. It's a different design. The top pops open. This one actually pops out here, and then you can reach your hand in there and grab it. So I will show you here on video how it works. Okay, it does have batteries that you can put in and a combination that you can do. So when you would do that, I have the key in it now, but when you would put the combination this is what it would do. Pop open, and then you could have, you could have your holster and your firearm with a round in the chamber in here. It's got spring open hinges. Really cool, guys. Really cool. Really cool product. Hawk Honor. Link in description below. I'm liking this a lot. I'm pretty actually. There's a few things in here that are really cool. All right, so you guys have seen me unbox a lot of safes, and that one feels solid. It's heavy enough. The metal's heavy enough. The fit and finish on it's good. It's got a nice coating on the metal. I'm liking that. Nightstick is a big brand. Okay, Nightstick is a big brand, and here they sent this flashlight. So let's check it out. What I automatically see about Nightstick is, and this brand is, I think this is perfect for somebody that works security, site security. Great thing to mount. If you're not working security, you can mount this in your garage. The light, I do believe it charges inside of this. Okay, so this charges the light in this thing, and it has little screw holes and everything on there, and you can mount it right on the wall. That's perfect. I'm gonna mount this for my security. I just dropped a crazy testing video of some really high-powered flashlights. So the American companies, you say like American companies, Nightstick is more of considered an American company. They are mostly known. It's kind of like Coast. I've done stuff with Coast for their durability and stuff like that, but they're not known for their high lumen outputs. So I think this is kind of more of a professional guy, maybe like they're going more towards a buy once, cry once, although I'm not having big issues of necessarily too many lights burning out with my Chinese ones, especially not like Nightcore and stuff like that. But some of the really cheap brands, they will burn out. And I think these, you might have better customer service, and they might just be, it's definitely overall better fit and finish than a lot of your F lamp or something like that. This is going to be a better fit and finish. And it's, what I was discussing with them, that tiny little light, like what the heck are you going to do with that? Yeah, you could have it on your nightstand. But this is more for like a very serious, I would almost say like an industrial type deal, right? So although I think we're getting away from a lot of stuff like this in today's day and age, I do definitely see a place for it. So saving some of the best stuff for last here, guys. Got a big box in from Princeton Tech, one of the real big names in lights of American made, as we say, USA made. So really separating that spectrum. We talked about not much being USA made good anymore, though one of the few, potential outliers in that statement would be Princeton Tech. So I'm actually really excited to get these guys into the running because they are American made and they do have a good reputation. I'm really just very excited to be able to check out some of this stuff. It's another level of quality here, honestly, guys. This is a really cool, really lightweight polymer lantern. I'm super excited about this because if you guys are, know I'm a avid overland expedition guy, if you're into backpacking, anything like that, the fact that this is so lightweight and that you can have it, for illuminating an area, that's very important. Of course, headlamps. I make and sell headlamps from, through Bone Tactical that are going to be a little bit more affordable and every bit as good. It is what it is. Princeton Tech, if I had to say who could compete with my headlamps, that would be the only name that I would mention. So I will say that if you want to get a really high quality, I have had a Princeton Tech headlamps in the past before a long time ago, long time ago, many years ago, over a decade ago, before I started, got into having my own headlamps as part of my survival kits. I used a Princeton Tech headlamp. So this is, they're nice, guys. They're nice. They have red light capability. This one, the Viz 560 RGB, obviously has red, green, and blue light capability. So really cool. Something to check out. If you want the top of the line name in headlamps, then Princeton Tech's the way to go. This is a little smaller one, red and white. You guys have seen tons of videos of me explaining how red light is so crucial. Make sure it has red light. This is the Bite Tack headlamp. A headlamp is an essential piece of kit. It's not necessarily a luxury item for really just about any kind of guy who's doing anything. You guys, pretty much everybody needs a headlamp, especially if you're going to places camping or traveling to other countries. A headlamp is like EDC gear essential, in my opinion. It's so useful. The biggest thing I don't like about Princeton Tech is that they, as far as I know, I don't understand really fully why they don't use rechargeable, why they don't come as rechargeable. They use AA's or AAA's, which is the biggest drawback in my opinion. I think they should be rechargeable, but there are rechargeable batteries, and so the things that I have that are AA and AAA batteries still, which I feel like is just a thing of the past, I use Amazon batteries that are rechargeable, so I'm always swapping in and out rechargeable batteries, which is interesting. You know, I would like this a lot more if it was rechargeable, but you know, I'm going to be using it probably for overland expedition in the US, so I can pretty much stop at any gas station and get batteries if I need to. I would much rather have be able to plug it in while I'm going from one place to another on my car, but that, you know, Princeton Tech isn't there yet, I don't think, with rechargeables. As far as I know, what I've seen of their stuff isn't rechargeable, but otherwise, you know, really cool. I like this diffuser, whatever you want to call it, and I just really think that they do some cool stuff. I'm stoked to get this into testing, and I really think this is going to be super useful to have around and handy. Two more things on the list, so gonna keep these coming. We're almost done with this video. Stick with me here. This is a Cinda wireless keyboard and mouse, which is pretty cool. So I do personally eventually want to have, I have my laptop, my Dell laptop, crucial for everything that I do. I do want to eventually have a, you know, base stations in the different locations that I go to. Right now I have the laptop, which allows me to be, you know, going around and setting up very quickly at different facilities. I have different facilities both in and outside of the US. A lot of you guys know that. I do eventually want at my different desks that I have to have the whole setup with the different monitors and stuff. I'm just very frugal. I don't take a salary. I am, a big part of what I do, you guys know, is just giving back and trying to make the world a better place, being the change I want to see in the world, all that kind of stuff, which just doesn't allow me to blow a bunch of money on stuff like that. So I'm super excited about getting this in because it's getting me one step closer to having that. And the fact that I don't blow a bunch of money on you know, extra stuff or anything like that just means that stuff like this is all much the more important to me because this stuff is sent in and they send it to me for me to review and I get to keep it, so that's cool. This is the Cyenda, okay? I'm gonna tag this in the description below. I'm gonna tell you what I can see about it so far. It's lightweight, so it looks cool. It looks like it takes batteries, which we just discussed, but it looks like an Apple keyboard, like it's super close. The mouse looks like an Apple mouse, which I think is really cool because similar to an Apple mouse, right? Because that's kind of the standard, I guess, so to speak. And then of course, you know, 10 times more expensive or whatever they are, but lightweight, the build quality looks good. So I'm excited. This is gonna stay here in my office, and you know, when I get the rest of that set up, then I'll be able to, you know, just keep this on my desk and have the docking station. Okay, yeah. But yeah, if you guys have a recommendation how I should do my docking station, let me know, because what I want to do is just put my laptop down and have some monitors, and then I guess I can now have the keyboard, right? The keyboard and the mouse there, which that takes batteries, so that's going to be interesting. I think over there plugged in, there's like a little battery charger, and it's got the AA's and the AAA's in there charging all the time, so I just swap them when I need them. It's one extra step. So something to keep in mind. I do really like stuff that you can plug in and recharge when you need to instead of having to swap batteries. But it's neither here nor there. Let's keep moving right along. The last item, I hope you guys have made it up to this point, is this big box over here, and this I'm pretty stoked about. You guys know that on occasion I smoke a cigar, you know, special occasions when I want to get out and relax, when I have time, because I don't, you know, maybe if I'm on a long trip, occasionally I'll smoke a cigar driving on occasion, but it is something that I like to not turn into a problem, so I don't do it often. And then it is something that I like to do where I can just zoom in, zone in, and really enjoy, relax, sit down, enjoy the cigar, think about the cigar, you know, analyze, you know, how is the cigar? Is it a good cigar? Is it not a good cigar? What are the characteristics of it? You know, it's a relaxation process for me. So that's something really cool. And this is gonna help because I have various different humidors in various different locations, as we've kind of, you know, just kind of keyed into a little bit how you guys know that I have, you know, different setups in different locations. And so this is gonna help me have an electric humidor, because what I'm doing at some of my certain locations is that I am actually switching over to electric humidors. I have a video here on, I have actually a few. I have one video on the channel that is, if you like cigar stuff, that is my favorite cigar accessories, and I have another video specifically talking about humidors. And so this electric humidor is just a lot less maintenance. I have one that I've been using. I will give you a report. About a year ago, I did a different electric humidor video. That's over there in the house, and it's going strong. It's doing very well. Less maintenance. You just dump basically fluid in it and just make sure that it has fluid in it and it's plugged in. It's easier to maintain, easier for my employees to take care of when I'm not here. And so yeah, I've had, you know, cigars. I've had Cuban cigars, you know, in there that are very rare Cuban cigars that I've had in there for 20 years now. So that's good. This one's locking, which is interesting, and pretty cool. Looks nice. Let's make sure that these are actually cedar, which they should be. They are a type of cedar. They're not like a really high-end aromatic Spanish cedar. They might be a different variety of cedar, but they are cedar. I can tell by looking at them and the weight. They're not like a very aromatic, but it's not a big deal. It's not gonna take away from the cigar. It's just not gonna add that full aromatic cedar like what you would get with a really, really high-end humidor. This one, it does look good though. It looks pretty nice. It looks pretty legit. The build quality on this one, I will say honestly, the fit and finish is a little bit lower than the last one. I just did an electric humidor, like I said, a year ago. The build quality on this one's a little bit lower, so I can see some small differences. There's some issues with the foam around with the rubber seal on there. The quality of the wood is not quite as good. I'm seeing, you know, some slight fit and finish issues, but nothing that's you know, going to keep it from working. This is a cigar humidor, and the last thing that's going to be in the video. I hope you guys like it. I hope you liked all of the stuff that we've talked about so far. So definitely questions, comments below. Let me know what you think. If you like these unboxing videos, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bone out.